Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be checking out the H30 mini drone. This looks like the new world's smallest, or close to it. So what we're going to be doing is unboxing this real quick, going ahead and inspecting it and doing a little flight test and the pros and cons. And if you're interested in this one, don't forget I'll have the link down in the description below the video so you can check out the current pricing and everything else there is to know about this thing. So opening it up, it looks like we've got basic charge cable, USB, full set of propellers, and pulling out this little mini drone. Let's see what it's all about. So looks like that's everything in the box. We got some instructions here falling out, but anyway, here it is. So the H30 looks like a very small drone, and just opening the cover up here, and let's see what this thing's all about. So you can see how tiny this thing is. Oh my goodness. So here's my hand, and this is smaller than anything I've ever seen before. Even the D1, a long time ago I reviewed the little D1 drone, and that was the smallest I had ever reviewed. But this one I think is the new smallest for me, and it looks like it does have removable prop guards, so that's cool. Looks like they just kind of slide off the bottom here. You see how that works. So a neat looking little Nano drone. There's the little charge port there, and it looks like it's kind of a blue camo. On-off switch there. Batteries all integrated. Tiny little motors here. And that's really all there is to it. Nothing else really to the drone there. I'm probably going to be flying without the prop guards just to give myself, a little bit more flight time. If you're a beginner flyer, go ahead and leave these things on. But if you're kind of a seasoned flyer, you don't really need prop guards. So I'm going to be taking those off. A little more flight time and a little better handling characteristics without them on. Let's go ahead and check out the controller real quick. Of course, we got the case there that you can store the drone in. And then we have, looks like we're going to be holding it this way actually. And then we have our throttle, yaw, pitch, and roll on that stick. And we've got a few other buttons here. Let's see what these do in the instruction manual. Okay, so it looks like this one here is going to be our speed, so our rate of flight, faster, slower. Forward and backward tuning. If it's flying forward or back, kind of weird, go ahead and tune those out. That's the power there. And then on this side, looks like we've got overturn, which would be a flip. And then we have left fine tuning and right fine tuning. So it's either going to be that like the roll or the yaw. I'm not sure which one that's going to be, but we'll be testing that out in the flight test. And then calibration key. So it says calibration key, but I have a feeling maybe that's some sort of headless mode. We'll be testing that out. And as far as the back of the controller, let's just see what kind of batteries this thing takes. So it looks like it's taking 2 AAA batteries up here. I'm not really sure what that is. It looks like it's saying charge, but there's no cable that works with that. So anyway, maybe that's kind of a universal controller, but we won't be using that. Snaps back in, no screw, hooray! So don't have to worry about putting a screw back in and out, and it snaps closed nice and tight. So let me go ahead and charge this thing up and get to flying in the house and see how it does. Alright, let's go fly. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and flight test this little JJRC Nano. And when I say Nano, I mean Nano. Look how small this thing is. So this is going to be an interesting flight test. I don't think I'm going to get outside with this one. It's a little windy outside, and to tell you the truth, I would really just kind of recommend this one for an indoor flyer. Turning on the quadcopter. We got our flashing lights, power on the controller. We're hearing the beeping. And it looks like we're going to need to go whoa. So it looks like you want to hold the controller this way. I was holding it upside down and I got my throttle mixed up, but no harm done. So we'll go ahead and turn the quadcopter on again. And our blue lights there, and the power button is this one here. Throttle up and down. You hear that beep, and it's bound up, and we're ready to fly. Alright, let's go ahead and lift off. Pushing up the throttle, and look at this little thing. Seems to be hovering fairly well. Whoops, I think I actually launched the wrong way. So rear lights are facing, the red lights are back and the blue lights are front. So now we're in the right orientation. Okay, so we got trim on the left and the right, and let's see what these other buttons do. So these buttons here are clicking in, and it's completely backwards. So I launched in the wrong direction when I initially lifted off, and so my headless is wrong. So you want to make sure that the little tab here, the charge tab, is the front. So let me go ahead and reboot this up so we have the proper orientation for headless mode and stuff. So I'm going to face directly towards that couch there, and I'm going to repower up. Okay, let's try that again. So launching and pressing in the left stick. Let's see if that's our headless. So we're going to rotate the craft forward. Yep, forward is always forward. Back is always back towards me, even though it's spinning. You can see it's spinning there. I'm going to hold it full roll to the, or full yaw to the left. And it is still keeping its orientation fairly well. Yeah. Pressing forward, it's going relatively forward. Pressing back, and it's coming back. So the headless does work. And let's try and press the right stick down. That's return to home. So cool. So it has return to home and headless that seem to work fairly well with a little bit of spinning. Let's try this again. So you can see it up there with the red lights. I'm going to press in the right throttle, or the right stick, the pitch and roll stick. And you see it flashing, and it's coming back in my direction. So the orientation is correct, and then you can cancel that out by just pressing the right stick. Cool, let's see what else we can do. We'll go ahead and do some flips. I think that's this top right round button. Pressing it once and then pressing a direction. Sure enough, it will flip in whatever direction you want. Pressing it again, you hear beeping, flashing on the controller. And any direction we go, it will flip, and it flips well. Loses just a little bit of height, maybe a half a foot. So we have to maintain our throttle. What's this other button here on the bottom? There's a circle button. Wow, okay, that just made it drop out of the air. Okay, not sure what that did exactly, but it just dropped it out of the air. So it's not, yeah, okay, there we go. We're back to normal now. Let's try that again. See if we just press that once. That may be like a landing button or something. Or maybe a panic button if it gets away from you. Just going to press it once this time. Nope. Let's press and hold it again. Pressing and holding. Okay, so that's like an emergency stop. If that thing starts to get away from you, like I've lost a few other Nanos like that by you know, the range wasn't so great and it got away from me, and that's a great function to have where you just press and hold. If you get an emergency and it starts flying in one direction, try and hold that down and it will just drop out of the sky. You can see how the lights stopped after a while, so we have control again. So let's keep on flying. So it looks like it gives you back control after a little bit. Let's go ahead and press this other button to the top left. See what that does. That rates. Ah, so I don't know if you can hear that beeping, a very faint beeping in the controller. There are 3 rates. So that was rate 1. Uh-oh, we're already getting low on battery. Let's see if we can do this quick. Rate 2, a little faster, yaw. Rate 3, look at that, spinning like a top. Cool. And whoa, it's a lot quicker on the pitch and the roll. So it looks like that's our battery. I'm holding full throttle and it did cut off the battery, so looks like it does have a, you know, fail-safe shut-off so you don't kill your battery. We relatively went through all the controls. I just didn't have a chance to fly around the house quick in those alternate rates. But that's it. So a great little, you know, very small nano quadcopter. It seemed to do very well for what it is. The headless and the return to home worked actually pretty good for this. It's a pretty quick charger. I think it only took me maybe like 15 minutes to charge, 15-20 minutes with the included charger. You do have prop guards, which you can also store in here if you want to, and they just slip on and off. Of course, you'll have a longer flight time, you know, if you don't use those. But I'm pretty satisfied with this one. If you're looking for something portable, I mean, look at this. It's got its own little case too. Pop it in there, and you can just carry the whole thing like this. Of course, you can't charge it off the controller, so you do have to bring that charger with you. You may be able to just put it in here around the quad and take it with you. But pretty cool. I mean, it did have nice flips. You know, it had 3 different rates, which were all quicker. Very good. It doesn't have altitude hold, but I wouldn't expect that from a little tiny Nano like this. But overall, very satisfied. And I do like that little emergency cutoff function. You don't normally see that in quadcopters. I didn't shut off the controller on this to see what happened, but that's actually a good function because you just click and hold it and it will just drop out of the sky in case you get in trouble. It starts getting away from you. Go ahead and click and hold that button down and it will just drop. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked that review of the JJRC little tiny Nano quad here. And don't forget, I'll have the links down in the description of this one so you can come check that out, see what the current pricing is, and a little bit more specs on it. And I hope you liked that review, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.